Over and under, round and round. I picked up the pen and I ain't putting it down. Back and forth, to and fro. Pass me the ball, ain't letting it go. Schoolyard days, the young mind plays. 15 minutes till the whistle says. Back in line and into class. Register save your time to lesson at last. What's on the lesson plan today? Is it mathematic method, a numerical way? Maybe English language in the way of wordplay? Comprehend communication in the light of the day. Young minds eager to learn today, so that when they get older they'll have something to say, to have a voice, to be heard, an opinion valued in the wider world. The place where the bass and the treble embrace. Word and mouth is what it's all about. I speak in rhyme when I'm feeling fine. My vocals don't shout when my vocals loud. I'm softly spoken, it ain't no joke. If what I gotta say ain't what you wanna hear, indulgence of your eardrums is requested when near. If you're in earshot, then my voice may carry. If you're out of range, then your position change. When in sight, then I see you. What's before my eyes can sometimes surprise. Just because my lids are down, I don't mean my mind's not ticking. Even in my sleep, I'm thinking about living. What are the things that I need to survive? I need to keep warm when it's cold outside. I need fuel to keep my fire burning. I've got to eat to stay healthy and well. Without liquid, I can't metabolize. A man that's too dry cannot stay alive. Good things in a good day's work keeps me happy and fed. Into the cityscape, steel and concrete, flat slab streets, traffic and noise, bars and cars working for the notes. I've got to pay my way, not living for the day. Crowds on a high street, ducking and dodging. Urban city flow gets heavy at 5. Places to meet, people to know. Riding a bus gets me safely home. Always say good day to the driver, hope he gets paid well today. If it wasn't for him, I'd be on foot through this urban city maze. High street stores, get what you want. It might be clothes for your back or furniture for your flat. Retail outlets, selling things cheap. If you can keep your feet, the prices you might beat. I gotta keep myself living right, keep myself well fed, pay all my bills and keep a roof on my head. That's what I mean when I say keep my head above water. Might not be exciting, but it's what your parents taught you. Living for the day was the excitement of youth. Now I'm living for the future and this is a proof. Dealing with the bills me and my lady be juggling. That's why most nights you'll find us home snuggling. It takes money and it takes time to get the things that I want for me and mine. Sacrifices made but never regretted, cause future's looking brighter with every step on the path we're headed. Keep my mind focused to get through the day. Living on essentials till I find better pay. All it takes to sway the balance is indulgence of self. I do without what I can't have if I haven't got the wealth. Patient perseverance keeps me from sinking. I'm only knee deep but the water won't be drinking. Opportunities look for with eyes open wide. Won't take on more than I can handle cause I ain't out of my mind. Many ways to fill the day. Use my skills to make some pay. Hold my head up high and say life ain't easy but I'm bold. Listen and learn the things I'm told. This young man one day grows old. Riding a bus, it might not be glamorous, but it gets me from A to B. I wait by the roadside, set my watch by the stop time, and I'm safely on my way. I might be going to work or shopping in town. Without a bus, I'd have trouble getting round. The wheels keep turning along the routes I'm learning. My mind and eyes are clocking in new areas I'm stopping. Got to get there, and I got to find a fare. Travelling to a new place, then I need a route I can trace. Sussing out my stop, I need a marker I can use. Man, this public service saves the wear on my shoes. Might take me an hour to get to work, but I'm there on time when I need to get home from the places I roam. The service runs late to some parts of the city, gets me home from work when the sun's gone down. Finding my feet, it's easier to ride, I can get twice as far in half the time. The cityscape lies before me, to what area do I go? Somewhere with a warm welcome from the people I know. The streets have got stories spoken mouth to ear, so I've got an idea who's safe and who to stay clear. You never really know a place until you call it home. The streets outside your door are the ones most frequently roamed. To get to grips with a place you need to know a few faces. To get your head round a city you need to touch a few bases. If you've got a head for culture and style, the conversation flow might take you places you don't know. Find a new muse, check some new threads, hear some new tunes, meet some new heads. Finding my way from what people say. My life is enhanced from a meeting a chance. Net tech infrastructure easy to find. The music I want when I'm jacked in online. Inspiration wears many faces, hiding behind eyes, intellect is disguised. What do you know? Who can say? Unless you speak your mind, I won't learn nothing today. Show as much of yourself as you're prepared to reveal. I can only be honest with the people I feel. A moment in time ain't like a year in their life. To know a person takes time, looks can deceive. First impressions sometimes last, but the truth will out. The way that you act says more than how hard you shout. Is there truth in your eyes or deceit hidden by your guise? Do your words hold true, deception not flowing through you? Many questions to ask, yet only situations tell. Bonds of friendship made stronger or destroyed. Who knows, who can say, only time can judge. A dedicated friend or a dangerous thug. Enhance my life, don't bring trouble my way. I already got enough problems, yet won't turn you away. We got a nice yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. Yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. We've been out on the roam, but now we're heading home, sweet home. We got a nice little two-piece suite where you can sit down and rest your feet. The kind of comforts make home complete when you're tired of being on your feet. Yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. We've been out on the roam, You know we're heading home, sweet home. We've been out on the roam, We got a good little house-trained cat. She likes living with us, I'm sure of that. When we go out, she watches the flat. She goes by the name of Maida Cat. Yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. Yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. We've been out on the roam, and now we're heading home, sweet home. Our kitchen might be small, but we keep it neat. We make nice food when we like to eat, whether it be savoury or sweet. The food that we make goes down a treat. Yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. We've been out on the roam. You know we're heading home, sweet home. We've been out on the roam, We got a good sound system too. It's great for listening to tunes. It goes real loud, but we don't do that because the neighbours don't want to hear it too. Yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. Yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. We've been out on the roam, and now we're heading home, sweet home. Plenty of plants around the place. A bit of greenery livens up the space. They look real good and they smell fresh too. That's why we keep a plant or two. Yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. Yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. We've been out on the roam, and now we're heading home, sweet home. We got a nice little council flat. It's just the right size for us and the cat. The rent ain't too high and the area's good, so we gonna fill our home with love. Yeah, you know we're heading home, sweet home. Yeah, we know we're heading home, sweet home. We've been out on the roam, You know we're heading home, sweet home. Many years we spent here, so many great times. In this home we shared, we had such a good vibe. But alas, as new life grows, this was a place for just us two, and soon we have to make a place for a family move. Friday night rolled around again. I gotta spend money for the dance floor. Time to blow off some steam, time for living a dream. Bassline thumping to the booth sound. Club crew jumping, it's a new crowd. In groove to the rhythm of the night. All the people in the place feel the music in their space. Dancers in tune. Pool playing hustlers on cue. Drinkers in their own minds, still feeling the vibe. So DJ spin that CD, the music flowing through me. Yeah, you know I can be part of something. To the man on the decks, play them tunes you respect. Keep the dancers in step. People sat in their seats, listening to the beats. People around the club, showing some love. We all here for one reason, and that reason is a rhythm. But the tracks ain't nothing unless the people hear them. So when you feel the music, just do what you do. Heartbeat, boom, boom, the rhythm in you. Music in my mind, music in my head. In my space and time, I find the path to tread. Whether I'm on the move or rooted and booted, I'm a music snob, so my mind don't get polluted. Psychological space, are your vocals to my taste? Street life intelligence, that's a rhythm, drum and bass. Education in real life, voices from around the globe, speaking truth of situations, problems untold. How we live today, the way your life unfolds. It's time to have you say if you want your story told. Challenges faced in the lives of you and I. Sometimes it's better to get things off your mind. Obstacles navigated, we've all had a few. How you deal with problems says a lot about you. Life's not an easy road and some fear to tread. I'll always be learning, encounters are never the same. Take some time to train my brain. Unexpected situation, improvise to find a way. The only person I've got control over is myself, so I bear that in mind when interacting with woman or man, because I know both man and woman can be very dangerous creatures when provoked. Some fly off the handle for reasons unbeknown. That's why I take some time to train my body too, so if I have to protect myself, I've got some idea what to do. I plan on living until I'm an old man. That's why provocation leads to reaction, not the kind to lose control without good reason. All the time thinking, trying to avoid trouble that might come my way, standing up for who I am and what I believe and have to say. Just start a transformation of self, bring forth isolation, congregation. Hot on your toes, mental minefields tread. Pictures of those moments in your head. Speaking in verse, focus on the values of birth in the developing mind. Root of thought underlines landscape of voice. Conscious reinforcement of choice. Hear me clear, my internal ear. Sadness, loss, it's not fair, it's not right. It's a fairer chance for you than youngsters losing their lives. Every minute, every day, who you are and who you be. Reflected by your attitude, if in evil things you agree. Selfish motivation, think who else you affect. There's more than you in this world living their lives with respect. So go forth, be bold, choose the path to walk, but no, only so many footfalls draw the line of opposing way. A young mind, testing the waters, without boundaries, morality is distorted. Infantile innocence protected from harm, exploring the world under the guidance of parental wing. Enough freedom to develop independent thinking, yet still sheltered in home, heart and mind. An old head on young shoulders you'll never find. Reflections of the events of the past shows consciousness of conscience and values built to last. Modification of behaviour when mistakes have been made make the necessary outcome more easier to attain. I thank my lucky stars for the things I have in my life. Who would have thought in darkened hours I'd make it to tonight? Not to say in any way that dawn's going to change my world, but looking back with eyes of truth, many lessons learned. My worst enemy's got to be myself, as only when I'm alone does the fear start to grow. Nothing to do, no one to know. Who really cares if my breath stops blowing? If I knocked on your door or wrote you a letter, say, would you invite me in? I'll put pen to paper today. Convince myself that people care, have interactions when you're there. Yet from you I never hear, guess I only exist when I'm in your ear. Don't get it wrong, I'm not having a cry, it's just sometimes it would be cool, a phone call out of the blue. Hey geezer, how was you? Thought I'd ask how you been doing. How do you spend your day? Ain't it funny how things change? Sounds alright if you're getting paid. It's been a while, but I got waylaid. Glad to hear you broke the cage. Trapped in thought, drive man insane. But you know we'll find a way to break on through to another day. The sun's gonna rise and the sun's gonna set, and I know I'll always find purpose until the end, because the journey's only part way through, and life ain't stopping just for you. So bring your word and deed in hand. You can't buy respect from an honest man. As mountains crumble to dust, a moment of a life and all the people you touch. Sometimes you just gotta let go. Why? Because it ain't doing no good holding on. To what? To who you were and how your life used to be. I can't appreciate the present if the past is eating me. It's time to become more than the sum of experiences known, found in truth in volume and tone. Pass the time, write some rhyme, I can find scope of mind. Through the night, gently fight life's routine, so I can face a new day with the knowledge I've gained, more than I would have with an idle brain. Joy with a hint, just a tint of sadness, never find completion because my growth is ad-libbed. Without sorrow born of pain and loss, I cannot aspire to develop a heart that must continue to learn, try hard to understand. Stripped naked in your eyes, am I less of a man? I give to you my guilt, tear away my quilt, insert sword to the hilt. What quality was the blood that spilled? With naive wonder I start to feel, despite my blunders my wounds will heal. Time for the parade, now the reverse is played. All the fears I keep inside are openly displayed. Mock, point, cheer, laugh and grin, cast judgment on me and absolve my sin. I'm on guard, see my facade. The dealer plays his hand with the turn of a card. I use this as my excuse, an explanation to defend an inadequate truth. I bet my soul, see my tears if you want the proof. Responsible for my own actions since days of youth. Insecurity fueling my need for acceptance. Use your rejection as one of my most valued possessions. Your acceptance would have strengthened complacency's hold. If you've got better options, I need to be more of a man. Listen, learn, develop and understand. As I continue to grow, encountering life's situation, question my actions, I gain knowledge from interpretation, adaptability, versatility of will. In an ever-changing world, move with the times or stand still. Into my mind what lies inside. Deep behind my eyes my thoughts intertwine. Vicious with enemies, insecurities hold. Nostalgic euphoria for the moments I've known. Situations live shape the landscape of the soul. Finding a way through. Finding a way through when the money doesn't flow. Necessary action has attraction. Gauge stupidity by reaction. Loss of distraction. Futility of situation. Need a vacation. Making honest cash yet not enough to stash. Work all day, 4 walls of bed. Spending my wage in a pub instead. Should have just laid down my head. Making friends and seeing red. Another day in the life of a fool. How could I lose you, abuse you, confuse you? A cool cat, I choose you. Mere moments in time, yet hours in mind. Many years searching, never to find. In the arms of another, much more than we had. So much friendship we could have shared. The thought makes me sad. My mind in a cloud as the engine sounds. Dark as the night, yet we're headlight bound. 1 minute here, pistons fire, boom, boom, boom. The miles fly by to the sound of a tune. Tying to the corners, ridiculous is the speed. Adrenaline kicks as the crank gauge drops. It's nights like this you must, with fuel, accelerate your thrust. You must entrust for dust. Rolling bones, left side of crank, eyes sharp in the dark. No fear of heart as the fire sparks. Find me here, a steel door and a 2-inch high wooden step on the floor. A plastic mattress, man, it's cold. Might be because they've taken my clothes. So it comes down to this, a sink to wash and a steel toilet in which to piss. Wondering where I'm going from here, if these blue paper overalls are a clue, maybe my days of living free are through. I sit in the corner, my knees clenched to my chest, trying to conserve the heat that I have left. Next thing you know, I'm in an interview room. My wide eyes must convey fear. It's off to a psych unit from here. The first few weeks, no idea where I am. I slept to this building in the back of a van. I've got a bed and a locker. I'm locked on this ward, surrounded by strangers, isolated and alone. I cried and sleep, my only release. Be the inspiration for my mind's vacation. I try to pass the time, finding fulfillment in rhyme. Can my vocal release set my mind at ease, trying to find insight when I cannot find sanctity inside? Should I have conformed, kept myself in check, as I have lived my life with distorted contortion of appropriate distinction, which is why I think in hint on the brink swim or sink. Never to understand, cart in hand, blade in sand, without a plan, just a man, a face in the crowd as a thunder sounds. Boys throw down the tribal dance of salvation. Mind and body's education bring forth the realization. Sons of man with fate in hand live their lives upon the land, holding true to what you do without a clue if angels flew. Find yourself if you are lost. A soul that does not know its place could drift by wraiths, forever lost from grace, with no more hope of life so sweet. World beyond violence, world beyond hate, world beyond murder, death. Lusting for power, warlords control the land, arsenals obtained with the wealth that's gained. Stand oppose and stand no more, as many red hands make weapons of war. Blind to identity, who is slayed is no concern for me. I sit with pad and pen, a vocal formula, insight explorer, bringing euphoria. The sun rising to the system sound, immersion within a vision, guides my decision to elevate my mental state. Find a direction for this concept, the route's not direct, but find no phase in a maze that's crazed. Don't be perplexed, I try not to vex, the style of my text might be complex, but do not hex me with a diatribe, I just derive a vocal jive. These words come gratis as I persist to clear the mist of mental gist. When I was jilted I felt much pain, but stronger made from love's refrain. My intent is not malevolent, finding relevant in social prevalence. Ascertain sources of disdain, as misconception may pervert direction, leading to corruption of intention, social apprehension, or violent convention. Arsenals at their disposal, the world won't change while warlords rule, dedicated to our safety, the mass production of death, promoting humanity's last breath. Weapons of retaliation created within our nation, hellfire's wrath, death from the sky, who is still left alive? In the rubble of a broken life is the will to survive. Scarred and burned of body and mind, ash and dust will settle with time. What is left but wood and stone, flint and fire, flesh and bone? Blister city, riot of rock, blight of body, pussy and cock. A democracy that doesn't exist as I sit here with unslit wrist, so hard to deal with all the hate deep inside a twisted fate. Protesting for their beliefs, bullets tear their flesh, dying in the streets. Standing tall for social change, many have found an early grave. You can't take my right to die, man. You can't take my right to stand for who I am. I have not seen war with my eyes. My opinion does not carry a death sentence. Many die as governments convene, sending soldiers to where there's need. Genocidic tendency, United Nations intervene, facing generations of hate, stained in the mind from violent demise. Blood washes blood, or so it is said. Pain and loss pulls triggers, makes dead. Who am I to judge with scorn, in my perfect world, free from hate, twisted fate, violent outbreak? Take it to the street like a flat feet hitting a beat. No need of sleep, cause the rhythm's so steep. I bring in the bass line as bodies move in time. Hey, I've got it, dance with it and pass it on. Picking up momentum as the music holds strong. Still buzzing, ever loving, the escapism of clubbing. Bringing the vibe home. Crew of dance floor crusaders contemplating other ravers. Thoughts of the night still ignite, we did it right. That was there, that place in time, lost forever, but never better, could not have asked for better weather. Lost in confusion, is my mentality a delusion? As I try to socialise, is it my reputation that leads to this emotional devastation? Network of friends, yet seem to find that, I try to socialise, is it my reputation? Try to comprehend emotional devastation, not to offend and build my network of friends, yet seem to find that as time goes by, I try to strengthen friendships over time. Many break down, contact not maintained. I think back to teen thoughts of if I die now, many may turn out to my grave. Maybe my ego, more likely my libido, responsible for this mental unrest. Using the assumption people from my past may feel the same, I send out texts or cards thinking maybe mine's the first move to make. I'm analysing with rational thought the notion that maybe it's life's commotion that leads to this situation, and not the dislike of my personality or ways I have offended, leading to people once close wanting to break ties of friendship. Another day in my crazy life on minimum wage. My feet hurt but I'm getting paid. Smooth ride home on the train, no bumps to knock my pen. As the scenery flies past, contemplating this life, it's been a hard day's work. As I look up at the sky, just a guy getting by, making money to stay alive. Bills, food, if I scrimp maybe just a bit. I might put a few quid for my enjoyment, maybe a night at the cinema, me and my girl, or a new game for my Xbox Fantasy World. Still, in my experience, we're all in the same boat. No matter how much you earn, you still get swallowed by the same hole. This is life, so live it the best you can. The harder the struggle, the better the man. Innocence. As I dream, my mind sets the scene. A youth of excitement, safe, warm and happy, probably not many years out of nappies. Tucked up in bed, nestles with thoughts of sugar plum. This harmony of youth created by dad and mum. So my memory goes only so far back, but I'll still never forget the songs from travelling in the car. Family, the loving teachers of my infancy, helping shape my emotions with all the kindness of tendency. Nurturing this babe and boy through all his dependency. So selfless the gift of life. So much happiness existed. My imagination is free as the mysteries of my small world confuse me. Things that are mine, things that are not. Where it's safe to play the danger of hot. Of all the world's names I must have been taught, creating my mind with nurturing care. Clean happy baby with a blue knitted jumper to wear. Not the evils of this world, and not the evils of word and deed, just knowledge found of lust, dark or desire of manipulation, the pain of innocent shattered trust. Never victim of dominion, freedom of choice to abuse no more. Take my rights if offended. What is freely given can be taken away. Who are these people that do not respect the innocent notion of youth at play? Expression, possession, beauty and art, stained by the malevolence of perversion dark, seek inside to overcome distortion of mind and soul. The female form in all its wonder treated so, to gain what? The pain and infamy of brain? Delicate is the balance of wrong and right, not corrupted by others' delight. Create a haven of nature and virtue, a wondrous safety of family and home, not dictating stifled expression, yet wary of the words and of the world and its dangers old. Limitations, boundaries, how far is too far? A line must be drawn somewhere. Justice and punishment did not stop the crime. Always a hypocrite when it comes to me and mine. As I choose to live my life, so decide on yours. Yet only for your safety are rules of conduct enforced. Push the boundaries too much and see how easily the walls come crumbling down. Naked in the world, no more salvation broken, tattered and destroyed. Realise what you have before it is too late, as hardship is hell and morality is relative. I don't reckon it's my mental instability, more likely it be my mind's defensive capability. Searching for answers, conspiracise when none come forth, detached from the normality of anonymity born. Just another guy getting by doing fine, facing the world as nobody of notoriety, shine through like an example of how we struggle in society. The food in my larder sure could do with more variety, but that don't humble me when I light my cooking fire, see. Who is anybody besides the sum of their actions, satisfactions and distractions? The contemplative philosopher, searching for reactions but finding only factions or fractions or fragments of this. A fragmented society, we dwell in isolation from nationalisation, try to save pay for vacation, yet is really global explanation, or just the fabrications of the freedoms of the population of this great nation, with all its eccentricities, moralities, and thus, and worse, the mundane daily grind leading you to the hearse. Firstly think and act and say, but as with every moment fleeting is the day. As my thoughts continue to cycle in self-doubt, searching for the consequence of actions no one cares about. To say neurotic obsession laced with vanity is an understatement. That's vulgarity, can only truly trouble me. So my affections and reflections are honest and true. My loving heart dedicated to you. Get caught in the constant web of morality, hoping with all my mind my actions don't endanger thee. Yet knowing and hoping my word and deed amount to this, a man that brings no evil dealt by his fists, yet not as peaceful as is in loyalty taught, to not be touched by the dangers of the world. This happy bubble for you, me, and the future birth, distorted by my desire, never felt the heat of fire. I stand tall in my conviction, the intention of reflection. It's not my absolution, just another weak excuse from me, this man who works hard and plays hard, yet finding all my goodness is merely a facade. No, never, never true, my love, the loyalties are red and blue. Yet I do understand the complacency of if this were true, in any action other than support and goodwill. 'Tis, was, and always shall be, another creature in this realm that can never live up to thee. Justification of murder, the inner conflict in my soul. A peaceful man enjoying society, does my freedom come at a cost? Inexperienced in the ways of violent men, as people live and die, hate and anger fuel fires, its damnation is the judgment of those who protect the freedoms I enjoy. Then hell's brave shall become my resting place, as I do not desert my own, and never shall. Who are those who tint our souls, forcing the hand of those once content with greed and lust, destroying passion, principle, and vanity? Why harm the unity of mankind? One world, one tribe, many gods at feast as one. As we remember our violent history in the light of the sun, set aside your hate. Grieve for the valour of a noble death, as brothers in arms have fallen before. Glory and honour we may lose, yet love, understanding, and a better world must come at a price. A friend I ain't seen for years, it means a lot. It means a lot, thinking maybe I mean something to someone, even when my life didn't seem like I was on top. Then you turn on me and start putting me down. With everything I got to deal with, you're adding to my stress now. Just when I thought I needed a friend from the past, if I'd only realised you had it in your mind to add to my self-destructive tendencies I already got inside. Do you really scorn me, or is it the reflection of your own pain? Your life may not have been easy. Maybe to you I got it made. But you and no other than I was there when things that were important to me fell apart, acting like I wouldn't have been there for you in the beat of a heart. I know things you've had to face alone, and I ain't saying respect isn't given for staying strong when broken, but this is a reflection of my own feelings and thought. If you think kind gloves and sympathy from me, then you can have them, as I take back my respect, see? Not that I reckon that what you be about, but maybe you being there for me would have helped me out. Anyway, fuck it. That's all she wrote. Time will tell in the future if you mean shit to me now. The free fall from my mind. Life to live, good times to find, a future to plan as we struggle each day. Much more to living than surviving for pay. A happy home, the trueness of a friend, another mind besides you with thoughts to lend. Tendency towards the common good. Partners hand in hand no longer face the world alone. Maybe it takes time to build foundations of trust. The sharpest blade that cut you will one day rust. Motivations. The bettering of self. Many temptations, yet still true to you, as I always have been. A smile in your eyes as together we dream. What will play out in this future? Who can say? With so many reasons to remember today. The preparations to make as our family starts to grow. So much responsibility comes with providing a home. A young life in the world of needs and wants, innocent and weak, dependent on family for everything he needs. We won't let you down, as you grow to know the struggle in front of you now. Many years of shelter as you develop your body and mind, doing all you can as there is money to find. Mother's love you can always trust, a connection between you and you from the moment of conception. Never fear her, no matter what you may have done. There is no stronger bond than mother and son. In the world in which I live, I've never met a more caring heart, gentle and considerate, giving of light and wary of dark. Skibby dibby just jive, fly, roll, quick ride, heads in, base home, wheel spin, brum, night out, fast lane, drop, clutch, race, gain, Pit stop, tank filled, 10:22. Bodies entombed as the homes of people become rubble and ash. A survivor is born again. Conflict, death, struggle and war brought to my mind for the price of a television license. Lands beyond my knowledge, yet as people suffer, fighting to overthrow a regime, death and martyrdom seem not to faze them from the resolve, the only weapons they possess looted from their vanquished foes. Such horror as people cry, the whole families lost as they shelter from the barrage of missiles. Women, children, men, young and old, protestees for a government controlled by the people of the land have evolved into a bloody conflict as those with power kill and maim to protect it. Abused and trodden, the population of Syria fight for freedom and democracy and are rewarded with indiscriminate death and pain. Aid and sympathy flow into conflict zones as the death toll rises, but here is war, hunger, famine and death. What little the free world can do as it tries not to endanger its people by entering into another of the wars of the earth. Strange this life with all that's foretold, more afraid of my own actions than hate with which others scold, than hate with which others scold. I can't control the world, yet it continues to exist. Perhaps the path of fame is paved with slit wrists. Still I play my part as I search with my mind. Find so many answers. Are the questions even mine? Never designed or built the architecture of the city where I dwell. Skills on rail and mirrors from heaven to hell. Still, what I seek is the knowledge of camaraderie, an education in psychology with which to perceive. May the fairness of this world not fade into the dark as I face each day with an open heart. Never contented, never satisfied, take more than you have earned. An easy way to die. Still people struggle and beg and plead, while others feast on far more than they need. All people are eager when you judge them blind. All people are equal when you judge them blind. Yet tell that to the humble as you walk by. Still, no one gave you what you've got, as making our way never stop, or you could be that scavenger, broken, searching round for something to smoke on. Fight a night of bleakest winter with the light of summer's splinter. All despair and filled with sorrow, will their eyes see tomorrow? As society sits in judgment with the power to tear apart our lives, is anyone fighting for us as it's all going to turn out, or is it all going to turn out all right? Actions from my childhood before I knew wrong from right, ripping our family apart. No one can say I didn't try. Years of work, heartache and struggle through the dimensions, building our home. As I sit with future intention, will my son have to face this world being told his father is an evil man? With all I've been through in this life, I may have to face the world alone again. My life spent on minimum wage, trying so hard to provide at home. Got things good going on. My fiancée, my social facade, or perhaps many persons' caution of self. I guess it's all just the way the world unfolds. The complications of life, a family home, fighting for man and wife, a new life in this world, a new life in this world that's relying on me. Somehow I've got to feel my way through this uncertainty. I've got a job so that at least we're getting some cash. I'll make sure, my little boy, that you've got all that I can give you. I know times are going to be tough, but Daddy's here with you. When you look at me with wonder in your eyes, if I could, little man, I'd give you the skies. I hope for the future all the happiness it will bring as we struggle in this world each day has an element of uncertainty. Don't let that take away from our unity of artistry. As each day the sun circles the sky, know with all your heart not a single day will pass when you will not be loved, cared for and fed. So sleep sound, my little man, when you lay down your head. All you had to go through when you came into this world, as I sat by your cot, you became my new mission, to protect you from whatever may come in your direction. There is no greater gift than the love of your smile, to hold you in my arms even for a short while. 10 little fingers, 10 little toes, a big loving ears and a cute little nose. Your cry warms my heart as I get to know you in such a short space of time. There's so much we've already been through. The warmth of your mother as she cares for you each day. Only for a short time is Daddy away. So be strong, brave and strong, as your mum used to say. We're building this family and none can take it away. As I think of all we have, the beauties of our love, I know that times are hard, my snuggle bun. A million smiles, loves and kisses, as I send you and baby all my good wishes. So be hopeful and contented, as I will not break the promises I have made. You can rely on me as to our love. I am enslaved. Happiness, I love happiness, could find in the arms of no other, as you are my friend, my wife and my lover. Here with the soul, my mind and body, alive, revived, much joy and love. Riddles say not what facts hold true. Self-contained existence, a fall lifetime blessed. Doubt and fear don't exist, and why as I breathe feel no need to wonder why. Each day the same, no life of pain. I could be no more, no less. Strong body, strong mind, searching to find more than just others with which to count time. Actions, reactions, distractions, satisfactions. Vast is the scope, downcast is my hope. At last I make a plan to create as a man. What more creation? Where does talent grow? It is a seed to nurture as the circles flow, or bright knowledge like a bolt to the head. Exasperation's spark flow, if not dead. Blood in my heart maintains the thought of my head, ever reflective. Where does insight lead to my own wants and needs? As world about feeds on fuel economy, transportation and trade, yet all I own is a life less crazed. Many rights and privileges, the bounty of the free. How could ask for more than what society? How could I ask for more than what society gives to me? No command or obedience other than the context of job role. Free to do as I may, as a life unfolds happy, yet humble somebody, yet no more. A creature with 33 years of stars and sun, days, nights, years, enchantment. I remember it can't wait for the day. I remember I can't wait for the day. Something new, not the same. Lost when young eyes did not understand as they do now. Forever in time, why as always was, and what shall be must once have been, until dreams die. The blues. Just living life, finding a way through another day. Back home at my mother's house, so I got a place to stay. I had plans for my family, but they didn't work out. For the love of my son, I'm thankful to all in this world I don't know about. Just living life. In the kitchens I spent most of my career. Weekends when people enjoying themselves, you could find me here, washing the dishes and cooking the food. Then back to my digs to smoke on some pot with the other working crews. Just living life. Found me a woman, we was happy for a while. Plans to marriage and have us a child. My son coming into this world was one good happy day. However hard life gets, you cannot take that away. Just living life. Stop smoking, the Mary Jane, must be 10 years back or more. Home, family, clothes and food seem more important to my money. Clothes, food seemed to my money of more import. I've got to say, I miss the social side of the smoking scene, but my son's future ain't in some hazed up smoky dream. Just living life. At home on her own all the time. My woman starts to roam. Guess that's what women do when they're feeling unloved and alone. Next thing you know, she's kicking me out of my home. And she's a female, so you know how the social roll. Just living life. So at the moment, I'm on social security, living at my mother's house. Parenting my boy weekends when he comes to see me. Through the week, I try to develop various areas of skill. Ain't nobody handing out lives and careers when their own families are getting poorer as well. Just living life. So I pick up my guitar and play some blues. It's one good way to keep you cool and not blow a fuse. Try to save some money for a future for my child, so he don't be growing up thinking no one cares and going wild. Just living life. Guess that's about all that's in this song. I got to say, I hope you enjoyed listening to me singing and playing along. The blues gets us all sometimes, some worse than another, but don't be giving up, my sisters and brothers. Just living life. The Lion and the Unicorn. The unicorn, she has a mind twisted by the stars. Nature shapes the way she thinks when prancing her display. Her dreams of foals and flowing mane sensibly considers as she steps cautiously in the moonlight. The lion's pride, his gentle roar, a wild for life is just to be created by the confidence of his prowess. Strength of heart and body, gentle this great cat. His star shines in the morning sky, his prowl at night complex, as his mind must consider the dark mind of predators. The unicorn, he thinks on ways to live and learn and grow. On looks alone he can't compete with the best of the show. The quickness of his hooves may gallop faster than you think, yet does he miss important thoughts while racing towards the desires of falters unnoticed. The lion, she is prudent, her fur kept neat, for just a glance of tardiness or weakness may be noticed, and she knows that the claws of other cats could scar her pride and set apart, marking her a victim of predators after dark. The unicorn, her shape is stubborn, haughty to attain, for her heart gallops faster at fears of thunder, storm and rain. Dare she stop to make a Dare she stop to take a drink beside a moonlight pool? Reflections make life magical. The stars dazzle her eyes, yet death may lurk between two souls, if not for quick strong thighs. The lion, his strong youth and paw, playful attacks, thinking not of danger, pain or scars that might perhaps change his vigour from the purrs of a prowling in the light to a mangy scavenger surviving shadows of the night. The unicorn, his shape to hand, trots forth before his rump, spiralling behind him the dangers of young punk. The night holds not the braze of colt more vigorous than he, for the pool of radiance in the distance he does see. The lionesses roar, forward thinking now of cubs, for they must eat and learn the ways of our star's hurts and loves. With each rise and fall of sky, some lessons she may not want to learn, yet shaped by each encounter, fine furs will stop the sky's harsh burn. Upon each side of another, the crowns proudly the display, trampling hooves and ripping claws would tear their jewels away. In the burning starlight or a frozen lake of ice, the best the worst the consequence, think twice. Poem by Walton. Who would think so much of Bo? Many years waiting, a life pace star. A real lifetime I have found at my local archery range. Monday, a shoot at the archery club. I don't know if sometimes I try hard to befriend with love, yet having other people to talk to in this life turns the blades of evil surer than a shield could. But other people to talk to in this life turns the blades of evil surer than a shield could. Putting in around each week other people that think like me, proving their worth in the contest of skill. Every arrow that hits the target is an evil demon killed. The hurts of my life, I tried to leave them outside the gate. Choices on the world as friendship I find. I haven't written in so long in this lyrical book. Even the ever the optimist pacifist, even optimist pessimisms had my pen stuck. I shared so many years of love with my little boy's mum, 3 years now of pain, fighting for access to my son. When I started these words, it was in happiness of love. A couple starting a family, praying for the gift of life from above. What can I say? Where do I start? A mended heart that was torn apart. My little bear, my son, my world. As each day passes, I feel more that me not being there when you close your eyes at night and wake to the morning's light is a betrayal of all I wanted to teach you to hold true. There isn't a moment that passes when I'm not fighting for you. The court, the law makes, as I explain it to you, seem to take so long. The pain subsided as we adjust to how life is in the interim. All it takes is an argument between me and your mum and our happy weekend. All it takes is an arrangement between me and your mum and our happy weekends can begin again. Each fortnight I bring the toys I've brought into our contact space. The 2 hours we have seem like such a short taste of the learning and bonding we used to do each day. How dare this world divide our love and treat us this way? I am a grown man that is able to understand your safety and our lives have been put in other people's hands. So it takes a long time for decisions to be made. I'm losing the happiest days of your life and mine while in your innocence your childhood is deferred, my little. Your childhood is. My life is on hold until I get you back. I won't speak ill of your mother, as I wouldn't raise you like that. Still, there has been pain in my emotions, and every grain of sand that has passed since we have been parted by the cruelty of this land. I didn't bring you into this world to not be there beside you. I wanted to make a child to teach him all that I knew, learning from my own mistakes, so in happiness you will grow. I promised you a year and a half ago. It should all be sorted by Christmas, yet here we still are, a year or so down the line, waiting for court dates, time after time. If I find things to cheer me up, like shooting at the range or my Xbox Fantasy World, I feel guilty because it's like I'm accepting the status quo. Yet of the pain and the sadness I had to let go. Loyal people are not cheap. Legal people are not cheap. And every spare money I can find has been spent in fighting for your right to see me and be with me. So I dwell in a cell of love's creation, counting the days while you've got used to me not being there. How could so much happiness be taken away? Yet if you were where I am now, I'd want you to live for our one day. Because, believe it or not, there is a reason this is right. I'll explain to you one day, when the time is right. Sometimes in this world, men and women treat each other bad. Me being angry with mummy would not make me a good dad, or a good man either. I'm trying to teach you right from wrong. There once was a time when me and your mother were harmonious in our wife's song. You are the creation of that harmony and our love. To destroy what made you, fighting over you, would tear you apart, my son. There are mums and dads in this world, so angry with each other that it hurts their little ones. This is why it take the lawmakers such a long time, and why I can't explain to you right now. So it's down to this rhyme. Nana was here for me, but now she has died. I stay strong because you are my life. Because you are my life, connected by soul and mind. I swear, son, I've moved mountains with the love of my heart. Important people in this world have noticed and are playing a part. Yet sometimes I don't know if it's all good or for real. When the wider world noticed us, it changed things in our lives. Once upon a time, me and your mother had each other. We held each other close in the security of life, in the obscurity of life. When the wider world became involved, things changed. Still, the cause and effect of how and why has no right to intrude in my lyric book. Mother. Well, ma'am, you are of this world now, in the history of a memory that lives on through thoughts of whose lives you touched, and in the children you made. To think of you one day, that jumps to mind. A St. John duty and at a sports centre, I think. It was a fencing competition. We didn't get any casualties, yet that day we were happy in each other's company. It's not to say that for many of the years of my childhood in each other's company we weren't usually happy, yet there was something about that day. We spent it as friends as well as mother and son. I can't remember what we talked about, or did. I think we were trying to see magic eye pictures from a book you had. I could see them inverted, so couldn't tell what they were, and somehow we bonded over trying to see the pictures. It is a cherished memory. When I was little, I know we had the closeness of a mother caring for a child. Yet as the years go on and the boundaries of personal space develop and hugs and kisses gradually fade out and soon forgotten, yet another cherished memory as of asking you one day for a cuddle on the sofa. I was maybe a year or so old for cuddles, yet I must have still remembered them. So I asked you for a cuddle and we cuddled in the closeness. for 20 minutes or so on the sofa. Maybe I was 6 or 7 or even 8. I'll still never forget when I was small and would wake in the morning about 5:30 and get out of bed and find my way to you and Dad in bed. It would be cold in the house, but getting into bed with you and Dad was warm and cosy. I would fall back to sleep until it was time to get up. Father, I'll see if I get told off or not for putting my seatbelt on. Dad and son in the car bonding over our first few drives. We didn't wear our seatbelts. Dad's kiss before bed. Tickling, bored, tea time, watching Buck Rogers and Battlestar Galactica. Learning how to use computers together. The time we steadily cruised up to 100 miles per hour on the motorway. Learning the roads in your car. Later in life, figuring out how the motorway works by watching and asking when you were driving. And going to the cinema and drive through McDonald's. That's the lyrics and poems I've got so far. I haven't written for a long while. I don't know if you enjoyed my words. Take care.